In the Huddle was created to give student athletes, parents, and coaches an inside look at the journey through US college sport and all that comes with it. The demands, the experiences, the excitement, and the opportunities available to our student athletes from around the world. Study and Play USA facilitates a comprehensive, customised approach for student athletes and families for their whole journey, from their high school preparation years right through to US college graduation.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of In the Huddle with Study and Play USA. In this episode, we have the opportunity to meet with a really unique athlete whose perspectives I think we're all going to learn a lot from. She has definitely taken a path fairly less traveled than other student athletes, all the way from West Los Angeles College. We would like to welcome Luisa Gauci to the show.
Hi, everyone.
It's so nice to have you here. Just for the listeners, are you able to tell us a little bit about your college and then the sport and positions that you play?
So I'm Luisa Gauci. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. I go to school at West Los Angeles College, which is in LA, or more specifically in Culver City. And yeah, I play baseball on their team, on the men's team, and I'm the second baseman.
Amazing. How did you find the move from Brisbane to Culver City, which is, just a suburb of LA? How was that transition for you?
Honestly, it was pretty awesome actually, because I was there during the summer as well. So I was playing summer baseball with the team. And so I had a host family during that period. And so the transition between having a host family and then living by myself was actually super great. So I was with family for 2 months, which that means I got to travel around with them, and I knew the area really well. And I was training with the team every single day. And so it just became a second home to me anyway. And then when it came time to like move in the area, it was just like second nature. So it was great.
And what an amazing opportunity, right? To kind of have a family who's obviously been there for a long time that can show you, the good grocery stores and just all those little things that, you just don't have to figure out for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. My experience, I think, would just be a whole lot different if I didn't have a host family, because they literally showed me everything, and they showed me how to drive, and they showed me like how to shop, and they showed me just like where to go, where not to go, and just like that sort of thing, just the basic things that it's something that like people from Australia especially just wouldn't really know unless you're a local. So that was really good. I am very appreciative, because like I still go to their house like often. I had Thanksgiving with them still, and like birthdays, I always go to their house. So yeah, like I have a really good relationship with my host family.
That is beautiful, and just so nice too when you're so far away from home to have somewhere that feels homey as well, which is so nice.
Exactly.
Definitely off our questions, but because you mentioned Thanksgiving, how did you find that holiday?
Interesting. I've never had turkey before. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, so that was kind of exciting. It's just like a second Christmas. I was like, oh, this is great.
It is definitely second Christmas. I feel like it's nice that happens in the wintertime there, because between Thanksgiving and then Christmas a month later, really need those like winter stretch pants.
The way my host family says it, it's Christmas without presents. So it was really fun.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Were there any side dishes that you remembered?
Just the potato. The potato was so great. The mashed potato, amazing.
Excellent.
I had a lot of that.
We stray from where we're supposed to be going, but I do love Thanksgiving. So kind of just getting back on track and thinking, so you've told us a little bit what that was just like to change countries and towns and what that felt like. How is study going? Can you tell us a bit about what you're studying and how you found the transition?
So I'm an economics major. I was a business admin major for the first semester, and then I changed it like probably like 4 weeks through the semester. It's really easy to change studying, especially if you're a freshman. It's super easy. I was just taking I'm still taking just like general requirement classes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, now I just finished my spring semester. I'm starting now to take like more of my economic major classes. but like the transition between high school and then college education was, for me, was great. Again, like I'm at a junior college, so it's kind of like they're meant to help you, like they help you transition through that, which is really awesome. And especially like I went to a really good school in Brisbane, and so they really set you up for that whole like go into university or college. So I just think I had like I'm having a really good time. I'm not struggling in anything, and you know there's so many people that want to help you succeed. It's, you're not alone. And the like, especially if you're not from the country, they're really understanding, and they will sit down with you and go through everything and just make sure that you understand how their education system works. So
so good. And I know you just mentioned to those of us that are listening that you're at a junior college, and because that is really a uni structure that there's nothing like here in Australia. Are you able to kind of describe what that is for people that might not be familiar with what a junior college is?
Yeah, I even try to explain this to my mom because she still doesn't really understand what it is. It's pretty much just the first 2 years of your degree. You'll be doing the exact same classes at a university, but you're just doing them at a school that's smaller. That's exactly what it is. And
absolutely.
And it's a lot cheaper too. So and you get more opportunities, and I wouldn't say like you make more friends, but like my classes are like 15 to 20 people. So
nice.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone knows you by name. Everyone around campus knows who you are. And it's just a really great community. And it's, you know, it's just the first 2 years of your degree, and you'll be doing the exact same classes somewhere else. So
that's exactly right. And I think for a lot of students that are making that transition, when you said that it's smaller, that is such a benefit of junior college or community college, is just those smaller class sizes. So, you know, when you're taking that like general science class, you're not rocking up with 300 other people. So that's
exactly.
You know, I feel like it's a little bit of a gentler kind of transition into uni. And then by the time you transfer for your next, you know, your following 2 years, you're going to be an expert. So it won't be a problem at all. Kind of transitioning from school, can you just tell us, so I really do feel like we have maybe glossed over the fact that you are a woman playing a men's sport. So can you just sort of talk us through that journey and how you have ended up playing on a men's team in America?
Yeah, so I remember signing up with Study and Play to do softball. And I was like okay with that for maybe 2 months. And then this one night I was like, I'm not doing softball. Like I really don't see myself playing softball at all. And so I still remember like drafting out that email of like, sorry, like I'm not doing softball. You guys have to help me with baseball, like recruiting. I'm just not doing it. Well, and like the transition, there hasn't really been a transition for me, like not like playing women's baseball to men's baseball, because women's baseball isn't a thing anyway, really. So I've been playing men's baseball in Brisbane since my first ever baseball team. And then the only times I'd ever play women's baseball was either if I was like traveling to a different country with the women's team, or I was playing for Queensland. That's it. Yeah. So there wasn't really a transition. I was just like, all the other boys are going to college. Why can't I go to college? It's kind of, I just didn't understand. It didn't really make sense for me that I couldn't do that. So yeah. And then the way I got to like go to West LA was just, I made really good connections with my coach. And I'm really passionate about what I play, and I work really hard to get to where I am. And like, that's what he's looking for on his team. And so that's why I got my spot, and that's how I didn't get cut during the season. So, and that's why I'm going back again next year, because, you know, like I'm progressing really, really well, and my coach really appreciates that. And I really appreciate my team and my coach too. So, and I'm getting a lot of opportunities, which is great.
Oh, and I think just, you know, what you said at the end of the day, a couple of things stand out, that you knew what you wanted, right? And that was to play baseball. And I remember having those conversations, and you just sort of said, look, the opportunity might not be there on every team, but there's got to be some coaches that are willing.
Yeah, and exactly. And like,
right?
we started that in 10th, like grade 10. Yeah. And like, even though we got like a billion rejection letters. It's just like, you just need one person to say yes. Like, it's fine.
That's exactly right. But then the other thing that really stuck out to me, Luisa, is you still have to earn it, right? Like, you still have to work hard and all those things. And I don't know about you, but I would imagine just in your mind too, you just have that, you just know you want to work that much harder because you want to deserve it and earn it. And
and that's the thing, and I do, and I work that extra hard every single day, which is great. And I have the people in LA that I've met help me do that, where it's like I am getting that little bit better than everybody every day. So yeah, when we all go back to when school starts again, I know that I've been one of the only people that's been able to have access to a gym during this whole time. And the fields here haven't been closed. So I know a lot of guys on my team, they haven't been training during this 2-3 month period. So I've just gotten that much better than them already. And I'm just like closing that gap. That's the biggest thing for me, is closing that gap. When it's like equally, like I'm there, that's when it's going to be fun. But for now, it's just like, I'm just making that progress to just keep closing the gap. So
it'll be exciting for you to be back and back on the field and training. So when we are talking about that hard work, and we know we've touched on academics, we've touched on your sport, and you've sort of talked about the support that you're getting. What is when you're in season, how would you describe sort of your average week between training and school? And
so mine's a bit different because I work. So I wake up, I go to work.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to school.
Okay.
And then I will go to practice. And then this is like springtime is like, yes, wake up and I'll go straight to work, and then I'll go to class, and then we'll have practice in the afternoon between 1 and 5, and then I will go to my facility. So I train at an outside facility, and I will do my like throwing, hitting, working out, everything. And I'll finish there around 9 o'clock/10 o'clock. And then I'll go back home, and then I'll cook, I'll eat, I'll do my homework, and then I'll go to sleep around midnight. And then I just do that every single day. And then the only day I have off is Sunday. And Sunday, I'm usually at my facility hitting in the cages anyway. So for me, that was like a everyday sort of thing. Games, we would have games on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So, and sometimes Saturday. And that would mean like all day would be gone, just the whole day. So I wouldn't be able, like, depending what time we got back was when, if I would still go and work out. But yeah. And then during the winter, during the winter time, it was a bit different because we had like tour days, which means we had running in the morning and then training in the afternoon. Or we would have lifting in the morning and then working like on field in the afternoon. On the days we would work out in the morning, I would work out in the morning and at nighttime, and I would say like, oh, the morning session's my warm-up, and then I would go to my on-field session, and then after that I would go to my facility and then work out again. So I'm probably never going to do that again. Now that I look back on this, I'm like, maybe that was a bit stupid, but I did do that for 3 months. But yeah, so obviously now, like when I go back, it just like knowing this of myself and just reflecting on like my sort of schedule that I had is I'm probably going to change that, because I was working out like 8 to 9, 10 hours a day. Yeah. Like hands down. So it was
something
a lot
that's sustainable long term. Yeah.
But like obviously like my sort of situation is a bit different. A lot of people, like, you just go to college, like you live on campus, go to college, you do the thing with the team. But for me, I need a lot of more like extra because I'm a girl on the team. Like I need it, or else I'm going to be behind these guys forever. So, the coaches have 40 guys on the roster. They can't be sitting with you like every single day, identifying what you as a player like is wrong just to get better. And so that's why I have to go externally to find someone that's gonna like every single day tell me, this is what we're working on today, and this is what we're gonna focus on this week, this month, and like just keep going from there. And like, yeah, I've made heaps, like huge jumps. So
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Oh my gosh, that initiative is amazing. And I'm sure that the coaches just appreciate that, and that's why you've had the opportunity, and then that you're maintaining it and, standing shoulder to shoulder with your teammates, so. And with your job that you got, Luisa, was that through the university, or how did you end up finding that? Because that is something, we do have a lot of student athletes that, just for financial reasons, need to work a bit while they're over there. So how did you find that?
My parents are very like, you have to work. There's no not working. It's not a thing. I've been working since I was 13. So it's just like, I've always had to do it. And so like my first day on campus, when I went in to hand in my forms to the international office, I just said, I need a job. Like I have to have one. And so they gave me the paperwork, and it was just like I had to get my social security number and a bank account. But after that, I like had to interview for jobs, and luckily one came up with the Cal Works program at my school, which is like it's kind of hard to explain, but pretty much like I am just the admin person for this program on my campus.
Great.
And they just help like students like that, like in need on my campus. And so I'm just the front desk person.
Fantastic.
I just work there 3 hours a day. All I do is paperwork, faxing, filing, emailing people, talk to people, make some friends, that sort of thing.
So good. But there are, like you mentioned, just lots of opportunities for kids that need to work on campus, while they're there.
I told them, I was like, I have to have a job. They're like, because international students at my school really don't ask for jobs. I think I was the first one to ask them for a job, because they just thought it was a bit strange. And so like, they just said, oh, like, I don't think we have any. And I'm like, you have to look for me. Like, you have to look for one.
Well, we're gonna find one. Yeah,
because I have to work on campus. That's the whole thing with my visa, is I don't really have a choice.
That's
right. If I had a choice, there's a billion other places I could have worked. So
but makes it handy when it's close. That's for sure. Earlier when we were talking, I think before we started recording, you just threw into conversation that you went to Alaska?
Yeah, I did go to Alaska.
Could you just talk about sort of the travel opportunities that you've had?
Personally, like I've had amazing opportunities just because like it's my sport, is we travel a lot, and then two, just the connections I've made already, being a female, obviously in baseball. So my first trip was to Alaska, and that was with our summer baseball team. So we were there for a week and a half versing another summer team up there. And and we stayed at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and it was awesome because we went in summertime, so the sun actually never sets. So for the whole week, it was the sunlight. And I think one of the highlights of my trip was, as a team, we were playing wiffle ball outside at 2 a.m.
And just that night.
Yeah, because our curfew was 3 a.m. because our coach was like, at sunlight, like, what else are you guys going to be doing? So,
that
was
amazing.
awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
With your games, are you guys playing all pretty local, or is there a bit of travel currently with your games?
For us, I think the longest that we traveled was 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we just take everywhere by bus.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's all right. And then I'm sure once you transfer out of your JUCO and move in, that travel will change a bit.
Especially California junior colleges. There's just so many in the one area, and so our region is just like all clumped in together. Like we don't really need to be traveling because there's so many schools in our area that play baseball. So
absolutely, and so many other teams to play. You just don't have to go far, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, I guess, handy when you're trying to work, study, train. 27 hours a day.
For me, because it's a one-day sort of thing during the spring. So
absolutely, it is a really exciting time for women in sport. I know someone from my alma mater, Becky Hammond, is coaching in the NBA. And then there was just really exciting MLB news with Rachel Balkovec working with the Yankees, which is pretty amazing. Could you tell me sort of your ideas about the role that women might play in sort of coaching in men's team at high levels?
Yeah, so I went to the Major League Baseball winter meetings. So I was there in December, and we actually had a meeting around that, and we had interviews that were like saying, okay, like we want girls to be coming in and coaching. And so I met Rachel at that event, and since then, like, she's been one of my biggest role models. And yeah, and so like, especially now, Major League Baseball wants women to coach, and I think if I'm like, there's five coaches right now who are women, and I know all of them except for one, which is super cool. So yeah, it's definitely like changing, and that's just where I see my career going, and that's how I make a lot of my own opportunities by like saying this is what I want to be doing, and I give them like my action plan of this is how I'm going to be getting there. And so yeah, like that's just where everyone's heading at the moment, because 5 coaches in the whole like Major League Baseball, it's crazy. Like
that's so pretty amazing, isn't it? It's exciting times. And I just, even just around the world, like there's just, even in Australia, with the WBBL and the women's AFL and women's rugby, it's just a really exciting time for women in sport. And I think especially with what you're doing and sort of just breaking down those gender barriers with just skill and a lot of determination. I think it just says a lot about you. And then also amazing that there are programs that are saying, yeah, like we want players like Luisa to come onto our team too, because you can have all the determination that you want, but you need coaches that also are on board.
Yeah, well, like honestly, you just change the dynamic of the team by just being there. And I know that because I've been on so many teams that have never had a woman on the team before, and by just like showing up, everyone's like what is this?
Hold on.
And even yeah, and just like even now, like on my college team, it's just a lot of boys come up to me and they say like, I appreciate you being here. Like, I'm really happy that you're on our team. And I'm like, well, thanks guys. And it means a lot to me actually, because sometimes I think they don't like me because, I'm just like, I bring a lot of attention because, obviously I'm the only girl. And so we do get a lot of news people, and we do get a lot of, like, just like newspaper and film crews and that sort of thing. And my whole thing to them was that, guys, I never asked for this. I didn't I like it, but I don't like, this is not what I'm about. I'm not here for a publicity thing.
Right.
I'm actually here practicing and training. Yeah. And the thing is like, the people that show up, I don't even know until 5 minutes before. And like, there was this one time I remember, it was really funny actually. My coach like sent me an email while we were working out in the gym, and for some reason, like, I just happened to check my email at that time when I was working out, and the 2 coaches who were like facilitating our workout that day like ran up to me and was like, oh, Luisa, the coach forgot to tell you like you have an interview in 10 minutes. And I was like, and I was like not wearing West LA gear that day. I was wearing like I just another blue shirt, and I was like, I don't have my West LA gear. I'm like, I can't do the interview. I don't have anything. And so a lot of the boys weren't wearing West LA gear either, because we usually put our West stuff on for the on-field session, not the workout session.
Right.
And so I actually had to like find a guy on the team that had West LA gear on after he was working out. So I ended up wearing like an double XL West LA shirt, super sweaty, smelled so bad, for one of my interviews. And like, I still have the picture that we took after it, and I'm like, oh gosh, like that was so gross.
Oh, I love that. That is so funny. Oh my gosh, the things you do. Oh man. Beautiful. So we are just asking our athletes just like a little rapid fire questions, just a handful of them. So are you ready for the speed round?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like you have kind of already answered this, but can you describe your current housing situation? over there?
I live student housing at University of Southern California, which is across like down the road, I guess, from my school. And yeah, I'm on student accommodation, and I have 3 roommates. Or we live in an apartment, so they're my apartment mates, and
Yeah.
I love them. It's super fun. We go shopping all the time together. They're actually like, they're all girls, so it's like the one time I'm not surrounded by men, so it's great.
That is so funny. And I feel like you are downplaying how beautiful your accommodation is, because didn't you send us a link? It looks very resorty, like with the pool.
It is
it
like,
looks beautiful.
it's literally like a 7-star resort. I love it so much. It's great. But
when you're living in an apartment, it doesn't quite do it justice.
But like,
so nice.
Then again, like, obviously I am at my college 24/7, so I only really get to appreciate that Sunday afternoons after my hitting session on my off day. So it's
all right, next rapid fire question is, what is the strangest food you've had in America that you've needed to get used to?
Like probably beef or turkey. I'm not a big meat eater. I only eat chicken. I used to only eat chicken until I moved to America. So yeah, that was interesting.
What is your favorite US food?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. I feel like we land in America with my family. It's like, let's hit the drive-through, get some waffle fries.
Yep.
So they're delicious chicken nuggets. Are there any other Australians or internationals on your campus?
On my campus?
At your school. Are there other Australians?
No.
Okay.
And international students, I know one, but he's from Venezuela, and he lives in LA. He's been living there for the past like 5, 6, 7 years. So no.
More locals than not.
Yeah, I haven't really met anyone more international than me.
Okay. What is it like being an Australian on your campus?
People forget I'm Australian. They think I'm American most of the time. But then I start talking, and then they start recording me. They ask me about Steve Irwin a lot, that sort of thing. I get a lot of like, oh, you're Australian? Or, oh, where are you from? Yeah. And I'm like, oh. Yeah.
You just throw out a crikey every now and then to make them happy.
Yeah.
What are your coach's best attributes?
They're caring, and they make us train hard. Yes. And they're very supportive.
Excellent. And then what are your baseball goals?
I actually have them written down over there. Well, I'm going to transfer. That's my first goal, to transfer for baseball to my next university. And then I want to play professionally. That's my second goal. And then I want to play for like Team Australia for the women's team. Yeah. And then I want to like work with Major League Baseball. And then there's this facility that I really want to work with in Seattle, which I have been already talking to. So that's another place I want to be working. So yeah, I've got like transfer, then play professionally, play for Team Australia, and then work for Major League Baseball. So yeah.
Done. Next, 10 years? Sorted? 15 years? Done.
5 years. 5 years. It's done.
Amazing. I'm very excited about that. And then I guess just to kind of wrap things up, I feel like you've given all of us a lot, just to think about in a really amazing and interesting perspective. But do you have a message for any other girls thinking about pursuing this pathway?
You have to do it. If you don't start it, you'll never finish it. But you just have to like go straight in, and just don't think that the first barrier that you get, that's the end of it. Because I remember like 50 before I even got like there. Even when I was in America, I was facing like 6 barriers straight at me on my first week. And I was like, whoa, I didn't see those ones coming. And I still remember calling my mom and being like, I want to come home. Like, I'm done. My college career is done. It's been 1 week. Like, it's been June. Like,
packing my bags. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, just if you just get to that first barrier and you quit, then obviously it wasn't for you. You shouldn't be doing this, because if you're going to be doing this sort of like, if this is where you guys want to be going, like down this road, you just got to understand that you're going to be like rejected and then just like pushed back every second day that you're training, or every second day that you're there. So you just got to be super tough about it and just get through all of the barriers, because like at the end, it's going to be really worth everything that you've been doing.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That end goal, isn't it? Just keeping your eye on the prize and keep your feet moving. And then I guess just finally, why America for you? Why did that pathway seem to make the most sense instead of staying in Australia?
It's the best baseball. But if you just look at their baseball fields, that's just look at their baseball fields, look at our baseball fields, and you'll see the quality difference, like coach difference over there. You know, just I have 3 coaches that all played professionally, and just even the ones here, if you just get a hint of like, oh, that guy plays professionally, we're like, oh my gosh, no way. But over there, it's every coach has played professionally, and they have all had that experience, and it's just their pastime. Everyone lives it, breathes it, and that's what I do too. I just live it, breathe it, wear it. That's all I do. And so just being in that sort of environment is just always something that I wanted. So yeah.
Excellent. We do. It is, it's, our nation's pastime. It's just in the blood, I think, of America. But also, it's so cool to hear you talk about training and playing and just having that kind of all woven into one day at one place. Is also a pretty amazing opportunity. Well, I feel inspired. I also feel like I'm not doing enough in my day after listening to everything that you accomplished when you're over there. We are so proud to know you, Luisa. And I just, for all of the girls out there that are worried about doing something that are, is maybe a little bit different or that might be a little bit hard, like you said, I just think you are such an inspiration to them. And I hope that you are just a voice for those girls who aren't sure if they can do it or not. And I'm proud that they have women like you to look at. So thanks for being here today, for your time. And we are so excited to see what this next year holds for you and your 5-year plan.
Thank you.
It's going to be awesome. Well, thanks so much, Luisa. Have a lovely day.